What's that? All right, so right now we're back live. I'm going to check and see if it says anything in here. But you go ahead and finish your point that you were saying about WD.
That was basically my point, and it was the reason why he was saying agitate was to stay up in these people's faces, let them know, right,
Yep.
what your argument is about. Don't sit there and say nothing. Don't sit there and don't stand up for yourself. Stand up, bring it to the forefront, let these folks know. That's why I say that we need to like do this with these social medias, even your phone. Do you know any individual that has a phone now has the capability of being a reporter?
Yes.
Because you can type up stuff, you can present information, you can be a photojournalist. I mean, so and then with that comes a responsibility, right? Because we as a people, to form a more perfect union, need to develop a strong line of communication, open communication, honest communication, communication that's beneficial to us as a whole, as a group. Because if you look at, do you remember Black Hawk Down?
Yes.
Do you know with all that sophisticated equipment that the CIA and them lost that battle? And do you know why?
CIA.
CIA and the rest of them who was surrounding those operations.
I thought that was straight military.
Military, CIA, that was a bunch of folks, right? But do you know why they lost that battle or those battles?
Mm-hmm.
Lack of information, lack of appropriate knowledge. They had all the technology,
Uh-huh.
satellites, drones, all kinds
Uh-huh.
of weapons of mass destruction, but they lost against a third world country, a poor country, but didn't have weapons that would suffice the qualifications that the United States had. And
Right.
the reason why they lost was because of knowledge. Same thing with Vietnam.
What
Because
knowledge was that?
one knowledge was these folks' capabilities, how they was maneuvering, what actual training, and what was in the hearts of those individuals, and a lot of the landscape.
Are you ready? Thank you. Thank you. That that right there in itself made a bigger difference because if you were just talking about knowledge, I'm
No,
sorry,
no,
our
it's not.
military is one of the most
General
smartest
knowledge.
militaries in the
No.
world, if not the smartest, and they prepare usually for this stuff. Now, that being said, the reason why we had a problem with Vietnam was the terrain, not the above terrain, the below terrain, the terrain that they had up under the tunnels and
That's
stuff
right.
like
By
that
the time that they got over there, they already had cities built
underneath.
underground.
Exactly.
Tunnels that what's that the Joy Road, whatever it was that led from I think Saigon to wherever it was. They
Hey,
had massive tunnel
it
systems.
don't matter what they called it.
Hmm.
We were fully unprepared for that. We went in their backyard and flexed our muscle and found out that these cats had alternative motives. And so
It was
they
crazy.
said we lost it, but I think it's kind of interesting. The wars that we lost, why are they people over here? You can't even answer that.
Let's listen to this here. And what about the Korean War?
Uh-huh.
Korea still established a North Korea independent entity, even
Yep.
after having a battle with them.
Yeah.
And it's thriving now today.
More than the South.
Yes.
So
So that.
So the point I'm getting at is we've gone, and a lot of people say we've lost these wars, but yet their people are in the United States. I think we lost a lot of battles, but we won the war because we still have an established United States. If you notice, they ain't came over here and try and start nothing over here. We went over there. The only ones that came and brought their butts over here, and I'm not talking about terrorists, because we can have a big discussion about 9/11 and all this other stuff, bombings and all that. I'm talking about a country coming over to this country and starting something. We're the only ones that go to other countries and start stuff. The only country, as small as it is, that came over here and started something was Japan. No, I take that back. And well, in the last 100 years was Japan. Because the British came over here, but that's not fair because the British was fighting the British, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I really don't count that situation. Because when they came over, this was a colony of Britain.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me doesn't count. I'm talking about we was established, and then these cats came over and started war. They bombed Pearl Harbor. Think about that. What other country did something like that? I don't think too many of these countries have the gall to even think about that, especially since we are one of the nuclear powers. But yet, we go over to their places, we lose, quote unquote, but then there are people over here. We got Koreans over here too, and I bet you some of them from North.
Mm-hmm.
We got people from Vietnam over here. We got Japanese over here. We got Germans over here. We got Russians over here. Russians be running stuff with their little mobs and stuff. I mean, man, we're supposed to be this melting pot, and yet we go and have a war, and then we bring them in. Okay, come on in now. You're my friend. Ain't that how we used to do when we was kids? Now, I don't know about the Quran because I ain't read it enough. But I know in the Bible, when we went to war as Israelites, we demolished everything and everybody. And we took that land. That's what we were instructed to do when we did that. But yet, we go over, lose, and invite them over here. Come on, kick it with us. Be a part of us. It's the best nation in the world. Do you got any thoughts about that, Brad?
Actually, I think the reason why people don't come over here, the United States made a pact with themselves a long time ago. The Civil War taught them one of the greatest lessons of all time. There will never be another war fought on their soil. And what they did was they developed tentacles, right? They put themselves in substations around on other islands and on other continents and other nations to where they can shortstop any invasion, and especially after what Japan did with Pearl Harbor, especially after what Japan did, because had Japan had a little bit more fuel. That's why they did the kamikazes. When the fuel was over with, it was going into the planes. There was no. How can look? And they knew that's why. That's another reason why they don't let Japan have a standing army, because how can you fight really against a person who would die for the emperor, opposed to a person who get paid from their president? The mentality of war meant or not war, but of military mindedness is totally different. And so this is why groups like the 300 stood in that narrow passage against the Persians. This is why Israel or the Ethiopian, not Ethiopian, but the Jews in that time in the Bible, whatever they call it, Israel's at the time in the Bible, was winning these wars because of their heart, right? What was in their heart?
They fought for something that was more than
money.
It was more than just somebody's indifference. They fought for a God, and if that God was with them, who could be against them? So they went in with that. They didn't care how big you were, how strong you were, or nothing.
Guantanamo Bay.
I was wondering if you was
about Cuba. In Guantanamo Bay, right next to it, right in Cuban soil. And the reason why is because anyone that they feel is a threat, they need to be able to subdue them before they can come to the United States. Because when they get into the United States, they're going to cause havoc. A proof of that is when they hit the World Trade Center, what kind of havoc was caused.
I don't talk about that because that's a debate in itself. That's a debate in itself.
Yeah, right.
I really don't believe.
I'm just using that to show you something. We know that it wasn't just. We know the situation about the bombs being planted and the rest of that.
No. Check this out, Rab. Hold on a second. You're trying to tell me the most powerful country in the world that has intelligence services.
They let them do that.
Intelligence.
We already know they let them do it.
Okay, let me finish. That has the most intelligence services in the world did not know that a few cells of Middle Eastern men who are known to bomb all over Europe was coming over to the United States. They were on the most wanted list all over.
Yes.
You're telling me they walked in because Quaz is kept. You can't tell me they just came through Mexico and they look like Mexicans and that's why we got to build a wall. That's BS. Because some of those pictures, you know for a fact, that wasn't a Mexican. That was not a guy from Mexico. I've been to Mexico several times. I have the privilege for a long time before they started making it a little harder to go across the border. I had the privilege 4 years in a row to go down to Tijuana and enjoy myself. And seeing the Hispanics over there and knowing that the deeper you go in, they look all kind of colors, man, in Mexico. But they don't look like those guys. And they know what those guys look like. And you trying to tell me not only did you let them come into the country, but you let them take flying lessons and get their pilot's licenses while they was here. You let 4 of them at a time get on planes. I think it was 3 or 4 different planes. I know 3 of them crashed. Supposedly. You let 1, 2, 3. Was it only 3 that crashed?
What in the World Trade Center?
Yeah, there was 4.
One
supposedly shot down.
One got shut down in the Pentagon, and 2 hit.
No. The one that got in the Pentagon didn't get shut down. That's the one they said crashed into the Pentagon.
Okay.
They said
So
that
that's where they shut down before, though.
one got shot down in like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, somewhere, something, from what I remember. Okay. And I hate talking in ignorance, but I'm going off of memory of that day because I was alive then. I watched it, I followed it, but a lot of it was really interesting. Like they tried to explain how a building that stood for years. I don't want to say it was 100 years old, but that building was around for a long time. Those two buildings. Those buildings were around for a long time. They had special things because they were so tall to keep them straight up. They had a plane or something crash into it before, and it didn't do that. They had a van hit the bottom of it and explode with explosives, and nothing happened. And you try to tell me this 7 Boeing jet hit it just right, and then it just toppled, bow, 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 all the way down. And when you get reports of people saying it seemed like it was an explosive demolition, you were hearing it. It was popping off like explosive demolition. So you got that going on. But you're sitting there telling me that one of the strongest, most smartest countries in the world didn't know that we had terrorists coming up in here? When people will not come in this country, you got bigger, more powerful countries, more smarter countries that hate us, but they won't come in here. But these dudes that and don't get me wrong, I know some very devout Muslims. I know some very devout Christians. But you telling me that they gonna come in here, they gonna sneak in here, and they gonna do all that damage? Something's afoot, bro. Something's afoot.
Yeah. You know what it is? Just genocide.
Oh, that's a new one.
Genocide against the African American male.
Okay, time out. Wait. Time out. How did you go from that to calling it genocide against the African American male? There is genocide against the African American male. But how'd you go to 9/11 and place genocide to the African American male? Now, genocide in itself, I would agree upon.
Well,
but on the African American male, how many African American males died in 9/11?
How many African American males now have been losing jobs because of their record, because of Homeland Security tightened up ship? Now let me answer the question.
Go ahead. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just shaking my head. No. Go ahead.
Because of the scare of 9/11, how many African American people suffered like the loss of jobs, loss of opportunities, traveling arrangements, etc. certain places because of 9/11. They may not have been in the World Trade Center and a bunch of buildings. But if you want to look at the aftermath and the rest of that, a lot of black folks down there. Now, hear me out. Now, I worked over there.
I gotta reflect that.
I literally worked over there, even though it may not have been at the time that this occurred. But just 3-4 years ago, I'm working in BMCC, the Bureau of Manhattan Community College.
Didn't you get a year after that?
No, yeah, it's after. But this point I'm bringing.
Right.
That institution. The BMCC, Bureau of Manhattan Community College, it was so bad that they had to use their gymnasium to store pieces of people's flesh. If so many people died, they couldn't even They don't even couldn't even get the names or all the body parts together.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute, Rap. Wait a minute. Are we talking about 9/11 or are we talking about the aftermath of 9/11?
We talking about, listen, if you died from the smoke and because you was around here and then the dust and the debris,
Okay.
It's a part of the 9/11 issue.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that.
Maybe not the planes crashing onto the building.
No, wait. I don't have a problem with that. But I still have a problem with you saying genocide on just the African American male.
No, I didn't say just. I'm only discussing.
That's what you said.
No, I didn't say. No.
Genocide on the African American male.
That does not mean just African American male. I'm
okay,
only discussing. Go ahead. You take something. Let me explain what you're misinterpreting. I'm only discussing it from an African American perspective and what affected African Americans.
I can appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate that. Now that you said that, right?
I'm African American. I can.
Can I talk?
Yes, you can now.
Okay, he game, because I'm gonna throw you on blast real quick.
It's not going
to you talking about happened before 9/11.
Say it again.
That what you're talking about. Genocide on the African American male.
What are you talking about? It's different forms of genocide.
Oh, I'm going to trust and believe it. But I wanted to shut down the fact that came out your mouth about 9/11.
You're misinterpreting. You're not paying
attention. No, I didn't.
No, let me tell you. Hold on. I said yes. Now you say yes.
Stop. I said, I'm glad you fixed that, but still.
There was no need for me to fix it because
no, because it came out that way, Rab.
No, it came out that way. I want to be sure what I said. I never said just.
Okay, Rab, explain yourself again the way you said it.
Exactly what I said.
Let me talk when I'm done.
Exactly what I said was I spoke on the genocide of 9/11 and its relationship to Black people. I ain't said nothing about
Whoa. Time out. You just said something different. That's not what you said.
I'm summarizing to you. So
no. I asked you to say
it. You didn't know what the word was said because you was wrong when you said I said just. The word just never came out of my mouth.
Right. But because the way you said it, it sounded like you were saying that that's the reason why genocide on the African American male.
No, that's the way you.
I'm telling you, no. That's what you said.
I was only listen. I can't speak from genocide that occurred from a white perspective. I can't speak from genocide.
Why can't you? If you see it, why can't you speak on it?
I can only speak from as an outsider. I can't speak from as an insider. I'm speaking as an insider.
Last time I checked, it's a free country, freedom of speech, even though we found out it wasn't. Anyway, get back what I'm saying.
The issue of the emotional feeling, right? and the how you relate to it, and when it comes to something happening to you and your people, I don't care about how it did with the Caucasians. They was part of the plot.
Well, hold on.
I don't care about.
Let's start all over. First and foremost, we were talking about 9/11. That's what we were talking about. Then you said, no, hold on. We were not talking about genocide at first.
I was talking about the genocide of 9/11.
When did you talk about it? When did you talk about it? After we were talking about 9/11, after we were talking about wars, after we were talking about all that stuff. Then all of a sudden you said 9/11 is a genocide.
I understand something, Mark. When you talk about something like that, there, the mass deaths, right? The massive deaths and an attack like that, there, you're speaking about genocide, period. Because
that's the point I was getting at. Thank you. See, you overtalked me the whole time, and you wouldn't let me get that point across. I was going to say that, and then you was like, "No, I didn't say just. I didn't say just." But your words were Now I'm gonna talk. Your words were. Your words were. No. You cut me off many times. Say this.
Literally.
You said 9/11, and then you said it was genocide,
Then I
and then you said
that
the young black
about genocide.
No.
A large number of people.
No. You
during that time.
changed up. You changed up, and then you overtalked me. You wasn't letting me get my point across, just like you over talking right now. I let you talk, Rab. I let you talk, and you cut me off 5 times.
Because you're
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me tell you why. Because you're reinterpreting what I'm saying, right?
No. I didn't interpret. Rab, you said it yourself, and then you changed it. You pulled it back. You said just, and then you said, I know. Listen,
we can go back and look at this tapes because it's recorded. You ain't gonna see the word "just" came out of my mouth.
No, and I agree with that part. I said you didn't say the word "just." I said the way you said it. Basically, I was saying you inferred it because that's all you said.
No, you interpreted it. I didn't infer it.
No. You inferred it because the fact is that's
was the only one who died. As Mexicans died, Puerto died.
Right, but what you said it was. You know what? Because I don't want to argue with you. Because you over here, you sitting here, you cut me off. You wouldn't let me get my point across. Wait. I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, I'm gonna listen to it, and if I'm wrong, I will apologize.
No, I don't need that.
No. You can't tell me no. I do what I want to do. I'm a grown man. I'm going to apologize if I'm wrong.
Because I don't want to.
Listen, you're wrong, Rab, and I'm gonna tell you exactly your words.
Okay,
and I'm telling you, how you said it
ain't going to come out my mouth. No,
it seemed like your agenda was to pull out the genocide on the black male. Because that's what was said. That's all I was trying to say. But what I was also trying to say is how you going to pull that out of 9/11.
Now, and I had to explain to it. And to be perfectly honest, it wasn't only going to be the genocide on a black male, because you can't just say it was a black male because many people died. They got a mausoleum on right as soon as you come outside of let me finish.
Can you ask me this question real quick before you go any further?
Go ahead.
Why are you arguing what I was trying to say to you because of the way it came out? Now you're arguing the opposite thing. No, all I was trying to say, I didn't say there was no genocide.
Because you're misunderstanding. I'm not.
You hear what I'm saying? Did you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I hear you saying.
You're still sitting here cutting me off and arguing with me, and I'm saying.
Haven't you been cutting me off since I've been expressing myself?
No, but you cut me off, and I'm trying to make the point back. I sat there and listened till you said that, and then I tried to respond, and then you said, "No, I didn't say that," and then you were over talking me. All I'm saying is this: listen. All I'm saying is when I first heard you say it, you stopped at African American male.
Yes, because that's the only issue.
Listen, and then you inferred or you said afterwards, I am an African American male. I can only speak from that, right?
Yes, I did say that.
I was trying to say, because you stopped at that, and we were talking about war, we were talking about that, and the first thing you said was genocide, I was with you because I was going to break it down myself, and you just broke it down for me. You just said it was more than just black people. It was Hispanics. It was whites. It was this. It was that. All I was going to say is that was the case. But you were trying to take it a step further because of that, because the Homeland Security, that changed an incarceration of the black American male. And I was going to argue that as well, because the genocide on the African Americans
Is something ringing?
before that.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah, I heard the beat. They probably listened to us. They probably
You heard
listened.
that though, right?
Say what?
You did hear that though, right?
That beat. You want
Yeah.
the beat?
A beat and a ringing, like
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it, man. I heard it. But listen, I was just trying to say, I agree with you, but I'm looking on a global perspective.
Mhm.
I am an African American male. I can't speak to African American problems. That being said, that particular situation did not just affect, even in the long run, did not just affect the African American male. And I'm gonna tell you
I agree with that. I agree with that.
okay, and I'm gonna tell you why though. The reason why I say that is because I know that African Americans are probably one of the most per capita in prisons. There's a whole 13th Amendment done on that, a movie or a documentary. But I also know there's a lot of Hispanics that are also locked up. Same thing. They're doing the same thing to them too. Now, that being said, they've been doing this to us way before 9/11, right?
Mhm.
They were doing that to us when they flooded the ghettos with drugs, with cocaine, with crack, with weed, all that stuff. Listen,
Genocide.
I'm going to kill you out. I'm going to really kill you now. What black man you know, besides the romantic story of Frank, whatever his name is from New York, yeah, had the money to go to these other countries and bring it back to the ghettos of the United States and flood the ghettos with marijuana, cocaine, crack, heroin, and all that stuff. A lot of those drugs were found a long time ago and they were used as pharmaceutical. There's a whole bunch of documents on marijuana and the cannabis tree. And I don't know if you've ever looked at any of them. But did you know that out of the plant of cannabis, whatever they call it, there's another name for it, scientific name, they built a car. Ford, I believe it was, built a car out of it. Did you know that?
Not the car part.
Yeah. And that car was hard as metal. They've had that stuff around so long, they was trying to use it as a medical drug before it came out as a
Well,
as
all
a
of them were medical
drug.
drugs. Cocaine was a medical drug, and so was
Yeah.
heroin.
I'll kill you off. And before that, cocaine was in Coke, the drink, in the 50s. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. It was in Coke in the 50s, bruh.
But you got to remember too. Well, if that's the case, we got to look at these addictive. They got addictive drugs now in the common foods that we eat, such as cheeses.
Oh,
and they got different addictive drugs that's like that makes you that makes you crave it.
well, check this out. Why do you think so many people, and usually it's poor people, go to McDonald's?
Because of the drugs that's in the food.
The way they make that food, the sugars,
Even in sugars,
in it, all the things that they put in that food. Since when can you have a potato sit out and stay the same color and not change color and get moldy and all that? Have you ever seen 30 Days, that one McDonald thing? The dude ate the food and all that stuff for 30 days?
Nah.
Man, you gotta look at that stuff, man. I'm telling you, there's some documentaries out there that'll blow your mind. That dude ate nothing but McDonald's, gained 30 pounds in 30 days.
Fast Food Nation. You ever read that when you was in college?
They have a documentary on that too.
Yeah, they also made Keenan and the other little little comic guys made a movie out of what is it? Welcome to Mr.
Fat Burger or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
burger, whatever.
But
Yeah.
it showed you how what was put into the foods
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and to establish the obesity and etc. In certain communities.
Crab. Chicken ain't never been as big as it is right now. Are you kidding me? You see how big these chickens are? They're feeding them with all kind of stuff. Our animals weren't that big back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got cows. Listen, I was living out in the ranch in Kansas. Okay. They had these cows. Nothing no out of ordinary. Hundreds and hundreds of heifers out in the field. You only need one bull to impregnate all of them.
That's right.
All he does is goes and do. They had this one bull that was 7 feet tall, 7 feet wide, and they had to artificial inseminate the cows because he couldn't get on the cows to have sex with them. But people wanted it because he was such a big cow or a big bull.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted him to have their kids because he's producing bigger cows.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all the stuff that they feed them and giving them and all that stuff that make them dead. All the pesticides and all the stuff that feeds the meals that they give them. Cows wasn't supposed to be eating cornmeal.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're eating the cornmeals and stuff. That's how they're getting so big and so fatty. And so you don't even eat beef now, huh?
Nah, I don't eat no red meat.
Yeah. Back in the day, you did.
In the minute that, but you know how it was. Back in the day, it was 17.
Right, but back in the day, the meat wasn't like it is now.
That's true. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't as far as we knew.
No,
we don't know.
I'm telling you, from seeing what I've seen, living out here in California, we're the breadbasket of the United States and the world.
Mm-hmm.
We send fruits and produce all over the world. The fruit, listen, yes, in Central California, the fruit that's here, we can't buy it at the grocery store. We got to buy it from another state because those grocery stores have to get it from another state because they ship all their stuff out to other states. But when you go to these little side little farms and all that stuff that have these finer vineyards and all that stuff, and you get their stuff, it's the best ever.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find Fresno State has some of the best fruits and vegetables that I've ever tasted. But yet, we got grocery stores and stuff that can't get it, but they in California. In Kansas, they started experimenting with buffalo mixture with cow. They call it beefalo.
Mm-hmm.
Cows get bigger and stronger, more muscular.
1 minute, Art. We have a brother that came on named Lamar Smith and says hey to us. Peace to you, soldier. How are you doing?
Yeah, what up, Lamar? You got something? If you got something you want to say, man, hit us up on there. Let us know what you thinking, what you feeling. We can speak on it for sure. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, so a lot of that stuff has been fed different kind of cornmeals and all kinds of stuff that's been put in them cornmeals that's making them a lot bigger than they were before, especially chicken. Chicken was never as big as it is now. Your thoughts on that?
1 second. I'm texting. He said he's good, so I'm just responding to the brother.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. Some destination. Yeah, sure.
He said it's a good topic.
Oh, that's what's up. If he has any thoughts, tell him to share, man. We'll put it on. We'll put it on right now live.
He said he's just listening.
Oh, no worries. That's what's up, man. Hey, anytime you ever get on, man, you wanna ask a question or you want to hear a topic, let us know. We have no problem. Him and I argue about anything. So go ahead. We was about to go to bed. He's yawning because
It's
it's
like 3 o'clock.
way late where you're at.
And for y'all who on and y'all see this, it's like a 3 hour difference. So it might be 3 o'clock here, but it's just like it might be like 12 over there.
Over where we're at.
Well, yeah.
Right.
So if y'all see me yawning, it's because I'm up late and I'm like, man, and then I've been going to bed late, like what I'm gonna say early, because the early is like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then getting up sometime like 8 or 9, especially the last few days. So it's kind of like catching up with me.
It ain't my fault. I got you off at a decent time.
But I love being up here with my nephew, and the reason why I keep mentioning him as being family opposed to a host is because that's what we really are, and that bond of our familyship overshadows all this stuff right here.
Mhm.
And even though we have difference of opinions, our opinions isn't going to prevent us from just coming up here speaking to y'all every night.
Hey,
Yeah.
I say something. You know what? We need to give them the flavor for real. So, yes, we are nephew and uncle, but
We're more like brothers.
we more like brothers.
That's how we was raised.
We were raised up by his mama. My mama lived in the house. My auntie lived in the house with her son. My cousin lived in the house when Rad was going on vacation. He had a daughter. And then her brother had a daughter that ended up staying with us. So
you forgot to.
I'm sorry?
You forgot to.
I wasn't finished, but who did I forget?
Darren and Delane.
No, I was talking about Darren Delane. I was talking about Darren's daughter Darren's and Delane's daughter before I left to come to go to Kansas, then to California.
Oh, you was still in North when Trina was born?
Yes, I was. She was like 3 when I left, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Tahira was like maybe 7.
I know. Tahira and Medina was born.
Yes, Medina was born too.
My 2 babies.
But she didn't grow up on 8th Street.
But she was always there.
She was there, but she didn't grow up. No, she was there, but she didn't grow up on 8th Street.
In the house.
Y'all basically took Tahira from Darren.
Well, we're gonna
excuse me. No. Hold on. I'm gonna keep it 100%. One thing I'm gonna say about my grandmother, when it came to her grandkids, she didn't play that.
No doubt. But
it was a time that I was took.
Well, you ain't.
Yeah, my brother Dwayne. Yeah.
Oh, Busy. Oh, it's a shout out to my nephew, Busy.
Yeah, Busy B.
Hear this.
Busy B.
I know he would like to have known that we acknowledge him and we send him some love. So if by chance this gets around to the ears of Dwayne Womack, Busy B, we love you, man. Shout out to the
Womack. Busy. Listen.
The Bizwack.
Listen. So we grew up like that. So we grew up more like brothers. And then you took a vacation. And we didn't see each other for like 40 years.
Yes.
If not more.
Yes.
So we got this bond that it's hard to break right now. So we're doing a lot of stuff together.
Yeah, stuff that we missed out on over the years.
And we talking about the past, we talking about the present, and we will be talking about the future.
That's right.
So that's why we bringing up all these different topics. And my boy L, man, L, we appreciate you. Shout out.
Shout out to Lamar Smith.
Hitting us up. I don't know if you one of my Facebook friends or one of Rab's Facebook friends, or if you neither one of our Facebook friends, but you just happen to catch it through one of your friends. We appreciate you. And like I said, anytime you want to hit us up and you hear a topic and you got a question, you got a statement, listen, I personally am from the belief that everybody has an opinion. It's just like an asshole. They have an opinion. Okay. And I ain't got a problem with people sharing their opinions, because just like you fart, you got to talk. So if you got something you want to say it. I ain't gonna hurt my feelings. And I will argue the fact. And if I think you're right, I'm gonna give you your dap, and I'm gonna say, you're right about that. And I might even talk a little more about it. Or I might tell you something you didn't know. Like my uncle didn't know. Now listen, back in the day, I'm snitching. Back in the day, Rab used to smoke weed like it was a cigarette. And he didn't know anything about
on that cherry tree.
He didn't know.
I does not know what he's talking about, y'all.
George Washington or Lincoln, whichever one did that. Anyway, he didn't know that there was a company that made a car out of the plant base of the stem of the marijuana, the branch of it. He didn't know that the hemp, like they're making clothes out of hemp now, or they've been making it for a while actually.
Yeah.
I know he know that, but I know he didn't know about the automobile.
We were clothes and other things, but I had no idea they made an automobile.
Right. That was like, I don't know when it was done. I think it was done in the 60s or the 50s. And that thing was hard as metal. And I believe the company was Ford that did it. He didn't know that back in the day that there was Coke in Coca-Cola. But that was the case like in the 50s. So there's things that we can add that people might not know, even though they know about something. And I'm pretty certain there's things that people can add to us to help us with our discussions. Because at the end of the day, we all are. Let me tell you something. I'm in my 50s. Rab is in his 50s. You never stop learning. I don't give a darn how old you are. When you stop learning, you start dying.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't plan on dying for a while. So I'm going to keep learning. So if you got something you want to share, please share. Rab, I know we've been on this for a minute. Did you just try and play something? Or did we hear something?
No, I was just looking. I just got a message. You got it too? Where it went to it again and said that Warner Brothers and those other two companies that I mentioned blocked us in 249, something like that, their countries.
Hey, Rab, I ain't get that neither time. Are you getting that on your email, or are you getting that?
It's coming in my notifications on Facebook.
Yeah, but if there's
just now I got Warner Brothers again.
Huh?
Just not I keep saying Warner Brothers. Let me make a correction here. It doesn't say Warner Brothers. It says Warner Music Group rights. Management blocked your video because it may contain, and going to, and this was just now. All right, make sure you only post content that you own or have permission from the copyright owners to use. Posting contents you don't own may violate copyright laws.
So where do we oh, you know what? Here's Lamar right here. Okay. I forgot I had this up.
You're gonna have to tell me what he said.
he's my friend on Facebook. He just hit me up and said that. I just realized I had this on my phone. I forgot I turned it on. All right, I'm hitting him up, letting him know that's what's up. I'm gonna tell you, I don't have any of that on what I'm on right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it on either one of our emails. So it's got to be on your Facebook.
It's on my Facebook notification.
But here's the crazy thing, Rab. We ain't on your Facebook right now.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Ain't that crazy?
We on my Facebook right now. So why are they trying to ban you a second time?
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell you that we're not banned because I'm looking at it right now on this phone. I'm looking at it on this phone.
What the brother saying? Sound like a ham talking.
Lamar, he said that he's Facebook friends on Womack. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him afterward, I said, that's what's up.
Sound like I was still hearing somebody talking.
No, that's me. You're hearing it double because look, Brad.
Yeah, the phone, yeah.
And I'm watching us. So I know we on. So I ain't tripping on Warner's. I ain't tripping on Sony. You know what? I got Sony products. I'm gonna get rid of them. I ain't effing with Sony now. It made me mad.
Let me show you. Hopefully you can see this. Let me see if I can pull
Yeah,
it up.
you put it to your camera, I'll probably be able to see it. You gonna show the world? You know what? I'm gonna make you big right now. Hold up. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna make you big so you can show it on your thing so I can really see it.
Okay, you ready? Let me find this for you. Hopefully you can I can show this to all at one time. Is the words coming close? Let me see if I can put it closer for y'all to see. Um and you see the three groups. If you look down in the bottom, you'll see Warner Music Group. You'll see Sony. It's crazy, and you'll see you.
Yeah, I see it, Rap. Yeah, I saw that. That's malarkey.
And if you look, check this out. It just now happened again. Look.
Hey.
See where it's at the bottom just now, Warner Brothers.
Uh-huh. So they just sent that to you right now?
Huh?
That's hilarious to me because it's still playing, so they can't cut us, they can't block us from what we're doing right now because all we're doing is talking, freedom of speech.
Yeah, no, I think it just has.
We know my boy Lamar was listening to us, so I'm not tripping on our corporate country, whatever you want to call it, man. See, I'm about to start twisting my words because I'm starting to get pissed again. You shouldn't have showed that to me. Let's get back to what you was talking about earlier, because I was loving that debate, even though you was over talking me constantly. But now, where was we at the end of all this? We were talking about what?
Me being tired.
Yeah, and we're supposed to have been done, but you keep finding stuff to talk about. Did we finish?
I could only. I'm trying to get the words out right, but when you said that, I could only laugh because, like, I'm the one being quiet, and you're the one being aggressive, and forthcoming with the conversation and the prologuing of me being up here. So I can't even say nothing about that, but laugh right now because I'm saying so. Oh, really?
Rap.
I'm listening.
So we were talking about what were we talking about when Lamar hit us up? Because I want to finish that conversation. Were we talking about the meat, or were we still on the conversation that what you were saying earlier, and then I broke it down even more so, and I was talking about the drug, huh?
We're doing something different. You had graduated to
I thought we graduated, so I started breaking it down about the drugs, and then we got into the meat and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you for the umpteenth time, I'm tired, little brother, little nephew.
First of all, I'm bigger and taller than you.
Only little brother in age. Only,
I ain't little no more.
you are taller than me. You are bigger than me. But
and
you are older than me.
I'm older not older. Yeah.
Now, so
running, you can.
Now that was just hurtful.
Hey, we both have back problems, but I can still run.
Listen.
Uh-huh.
Let me have to get away. If I have to get away, there's still a little bit of oomph left in me. If I have to stand and fight, there's still a little bit of oomph left up in me.
Right.
If I have to ignore and use intelligence and advance in another direction, there's still a little oomph left up in me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If I have to steamroll straight ahead like a bull in the field,
but you're gonna go, right?
Exactly.
Now peep this out. If a dog is chasing both of us, you getting bit.
If a dog is chasing me, the dog is dying.
Hey, I'll run the fight another day.
Listen, I don't know where you're from, but it's garbage cans, it's bottles, it's sticks, it's sticks. I live in the East Coast.
I'm not scary, man. Hold on. I'm not scary. I don't know how many dogs you've been bit by, but I've been bit by at least 8 or 9 dogs in my life.
I had 8 or 9, but you remember I got bit by that dog down the street from the house when I had to go to the hospital. It bit me all around the legs, the big ass German Shepherd.
No, but I do remember minding my own business and going to see one of my friends, and the dog chased me down the street and bit me in my calf.
Did it hurt?
And that dog ended up getting dead.
Did it hurt?
Of course it hurt. But you know what? That's not the last dog that bit me.
But did you scream?
Hey, the last dog that
did you scream? Answer the question.
Like a little girl because I was young.
Did you say ow the way Cardi B
said? Like a little girl because I was young. I was a kid.
Answer the question.
I just did.
Did you say ow like Cardi B?
Look. Hey, check it out.
Oh my goodness.
The last dog that bit me, I took a 2x4 to his head.
Mm-hmm.
That dog, for the rest of the time, now this happened when I was in Kansas. For the rest of the time, I would be walking and he would see me. And he was one of them dogs that had a hair over their eyes. He was a big dog, you know, the sheep dogs, whatever they call them. The one with the hair over the eyes, you can't see the eyes at all.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of those. And he would be like
a lab or something, like a Labrador.
No, the ones that they call them sheep dogs. They have that hair all over their eyes. They
like a bang over their eyes, like
right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This dog thought he was so slick. He'll wait till I walk by and he'll look and see if I'm paying attention. Then he try and creep up behind me. And I always had something in my hand after he bit me that one time.
Mm-hmm.
And after I cracked him with that 2x4, he never bit me again. Then The last time I had a problem with a dog, I killed him. So me and dogs don't get
I like
along.
that hat, by the way, too.
I appreciate
I
it.
see the
You
design
know,
stuff
showing
on
you the
top of
pattern.
it.
You notice I'm showing you the pattern, right? I keep doing
Yeah,
my
yeah, I just dug it. I just
I
dug the
do that
pattern.
on purpose to you because I know
Yeah,
you big gang. So this dog was chasing kids when I first moved to California. He was a pit bull. I'm in the backyard. I'm doing archery, and I'm good at. Hey, that's one thing I'm good at is archery. So I'm sitting there, just having me some fun doing archery in the back.
Archie,
No, archery.
Archie E,
Bow and arrows.
Archie E.
Bow and arrows.
Oh, going arrows.
Yes.
Like Archie.
Anyway, so I'm sitting back there, I'm shooting the kids, and I was working with World Impact at the time. Shout out World Impact, reason why I'm in California today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there, I'm shooting bow and arrows, and the kids from that were in the classes that we had came running in the backyard, and this big ass pit bull come. I said, "Oh heck no!" Turn around, pow, right between the eyes. Go to sleep. The owners heard the dog. Boom. Owners came over. They were in the projects / apartment building that was across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Now, projects out here are flat. They're 1 or 2 stories at the most, and they basically go for about a block or 2. They're not like out there where they built up about 17.
They built long, like ranch style.
They're just a bunch of different apartments. So the projects was right across the street. I was living on the west side. Shout out to the west. I was living on the west side, and the owner of the dog came in the back. Was like, "What happened to my dog?" Told him, "Your dog came in the back trying to bite these kids. I put him to sleep." He called the police. The police said, "Hey, he's on this property. Your dog went on his property and was trying to attack people. You're lucky he doesn't press charges on you." They took the dog. SPC took the dog. That was the end of it. That dude hated my guts for a whole year. Sorry about your luck, partner. I don't even remember the dude's name.
Mm-hmm.
But
So,
hey,
so you get my point then.
About what?
When I said there's sticks, bottles, cans, etc., and that dog is going to be dead.
I grew up in Newark, New Jersey. What you think?
Exactly.
Hey, I remember having fights with people and picking up garbage cans and bricks and all that stuff and going back and forth.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not no stranger to running, trying to jump up a tree, if I can't find nothing to smack the dog across his noggin with.
I'm just trying to live to fight another day. Get notified when Art goes live next. Turn that on. So anyway,
we can try to come on a little early.
Hey, Rap, check this out. We've been on for a whole hour, but actually we've been on for 3+ hours.
Well, yeah, 3 days.
4 hours. So we're gonna cut this short. And Lamar, once again, we appreciate you, my man. Feel free.
Smith.
Hopefully you'll get a notification, and you'd be welcome to jump in anytime. Once again, if something stands out to you, you want to talk about it, feel free to hit us up. Rad needs to go to bed. It's after 12. That means it's almost 3:30 his time. I need to let him go. Brother, I love you. I know we had a little frustration, but we'll figure out something else to do to talk about. Hey, listen.
I'm gonna argue with you until you 67 years old, running around with a we see how silver and grayish or white your beard is now. Until you get one of them long ones like the Chinese people and the Chinese.
You want me to grow my beard back again?
I'm gonna say this to you. You look kind of distinguished with it cut low and oh, by the way, let me ask you a question before I forget.
Okay, let me get this straight. You said to me 3 different times that you tired.
I know, but I just want
Why
to
did I let you go and now you figured out something else to say?
but this is business. This is our business.
Mhm.
Did you take the photo yet for the? Okay.
I already know what you're gonna say, Rap. Listen, so many things have been going on the last few days. I hadn't even thought about taking that photo.
Okay.
I will take it. I'm gonna take it in the backyard. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that vest on that tie like you want me to. I might even throw that little jacket on too that you
Mhm.
gave me. I'm gonna pop that thing, and then I'm gonna take that picture.
No doubt.
What I'm realizing is that there's powers out there that's trying to stop us from doing the things we want to do. So,
You ain't gonna be standing still while the angels are coming down to save the people.
hey, Rab, real quick, I gotta stop again. I'm appreciating this brother. He hitting us up for real.
Lamar,
Yeah, he hitting us up for real. And I'm gonna show you what he said because I don't think you can see it. Oh, I keep going the wrong way. See it at the bottom.
enjoy something. See y'all again. Enjoy brotherhood. I'll see y'all soon. Yes,
Yeah.
sir, Lamar. Peace to you, soldier. I give you a strong Black Power salute. Black Power.
Yeah, he already gave you the Black Power fist, bro.
No doubt.
That's already here. Look, hey, hey, I appreciate. I don't ever want nobody to think that I don't know my roots and all that stuff. Trust and believe, I'm all about the Black movement. We've been held down for over.
Mhm.
I know you said 15, whatever, bro. It's the 20.
Oh, no, it's
20. Listen,
been longer than
held down before 15 something.
of course. 1555 represents the Black American slave passage in America, nothing else. It doesn't represent the great atrocities and slavery that we was going through. We can go all the way back during the time, according to Chancellor Williams, right? We can go back even beyond, but we can go back during the time of Alexander the Great.
Bruh, we can go all the way back to Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to keep going, we can keep going back. Let me slavery has been around forever. And see, I'm gonna tell you something. And uh-oh.
Oh, you hit the
hey, that was an accident. That was my elbow. That's the funny part about it. But big gang, I'm over here spitting and everything. My goodness. Woo, that was terrible. Listen. We are a lot of us, okay? A lot of us are calling ourselves African Americans. A lot of us are calling ourselves Black. There's still some of us that call ourselves the N word, whether it be with an A, or R, a R-A, A-S.
Asiatic Black man.
We call ourselves the Asiatic Black man.
Father of civilization and God of the universe.
Listen.
You also call that.
I'm a firm believer. I do not follow. I'm going to say it very distinctly because my son is one of these, but I do not follow the Hebrew blacks or the group IUIC. I don't follow them, but I have a lot of belief in some of the stuff they believe. I believe we are the lost tribe of Israel. I believe we're the ones that the Bible is talking about. So, and I knew Rab you was gonna do that because you're Muslim, you're Islamic, but I'm gonna kill you off since you want to go that route with the boo. No, you did hit the boo. Now, if you want to claim, Mr. Muslim Islamic, that you are from Islam, and I'm telling you, we are the original Israelites, you got to remember something. Who was the forefather of the Israelites? Yeah, we speaking a little Bible right now. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I'm going there.
I know you're going to say what? Abraham?
Okay. Abraham had how many sons? I know the song had many sons, but he had two main sons.
The relevant ones that we, in terms, not all of them are relevant, but the relevant ones in terms of discussion would be Ishmael and Isaac.
It'd be who?
Ishmael and Isaac.
Right. So, a lot of people say the Muslims came from Ishmael. And a lot of people say the Christians or the rest of the Israelites came from Isaac. So there's always going to be a war between those two in that category. Who is the chosen people of God? Now, that being said, we both came from the same loins. We both want to serve the same God. It talks about it in the Bible. The people that serve I don't know what that means, but it hurt my ears. But
I guess they was applauding you.
Okay, but the point I'm getting at is we all are more than what we think we are. And this is a point that I was trying to talk about earlier, and we went off to another tangent because you wanted to cut me off and talk about other stuff. Rad, we've been fed a bill of goods forever. The Bible talks about it. I think the Quran probably even talk about it. I know the Apocrypha talks about it. That we are going to be sent to a foreign land. We're going to be taught things and taken or stripped of our identity. And then we're going to be told stuff about our own belief and religion. And it's going to be changed, but we're going to be told that it's the Christian religion or what we're supposed to believe. But yet, it came from us. Listen, Judaism, where the Jews came from us. Christianity came from us. Islam came from us. Those are the three main groups. Those are the three main religions in the world. But yet, we argue about a lot of the stuff because we have people tell us stuff. Like, for instance, where do you guys get all your information from for Islam?
What you mean? Where do we get it from? We get information from the Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Prophet Muhammad.
What did you tell me the other day about when we were ordering that Quran? Did my mom ever get her Quran?
I'm not sure. I gotta ask her. But if you're asking, does the Quran support the truth that's in the Bible? Yes, it does.
No, that's not what I'm asking, but thank you for saying that. What I'm asking is, what did you and I talk about the other day when I was ordering the Quran for my mother?
I can't remember.
She's a new convert, by the way. She used to be a Christian. Now she's a Muslim. I support her 110% because at the end of the day, she needs to find peace with God. And whenever God gives her that peace, then so be it. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you something. Our beliefs are going like this, but we're making them go like this. Because if you look at where a lot of that stuff came from, and you said it just now, they all come from the first 5 books of the Bible, which I believe is called the Tanakh, the books of the law, the books of the law,
You mean the Torah?
the Torah, they have a lot of different names.
Yeah.
Okay. The bottom line,
Torah or Torah, something like that.
yeah, there's a lot of different names, Rap. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
A lot of different people.
Some of the 5 books of Moses.
Now,
Right?
Now we're gonna back up for a minute. So here's the craziness. You told me the other day, don't get that particular book because that person has some stuff that she's not really right about, or he has some stuff.
Interpretation.
It was a dude.
Original language.
Right. Now, that being said, if that dude was doing it now, you're telling me that there's no one that did it before. And I'm gonna tell you why I know that to be the case. Because
I'm confused.
I'm gonna tell you why it's to be the case. But if you want to answer what you were going to answer real quick, I'll let you answer it.
No, I wasn't answering. I said my statement was I'm confused. I got lost with what direction you was going with that.
I'm gonna tell you the direction right now. The Bible and the Quran, and parts of the early, not the first 5 books, I would say, but the rest of the books in the Bible have been told to us in a different way for us to believe something a little bit different than we're supposed to believe. Now, follow me and stay with me real quick.
I'll feel that.
Now, the people that's over in the Middle East and all that stuff, are they all the original Muslims?
What you mean by original Muslims?
Yeah, I knew you was going to ask me that. Rab.
You talk about nationality-wise?
Yes. Yes.
No, they were a little more darker back then.
Exactly. Why were they darker? Why were they darker, Rab?
Climate in and of itself, and the fact that they let me finish. You
know what? I'm gonna do
climate, but
wait. Wait. I'm gonna do what you wouldn't let me do earlier. I'm gonna let you speak. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? The original Arab?
Yes.
The original Chinese, the original Japanese, all of them can be traced to African heritage. No doubt about it.
Right.
This is why, and the proof, let me show you the proof of it.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you off. I know the proof.
Even Mexicans, the rest of them, because you go to these countries and you'll find, and Cuba, the rest of them, Cuba is the one that out and out a national. Cuba admit, listen, we're black.
You talking what I got. Keep going.
So
I'm about to turn you out, boy. I'm about to turn you out. Go ahead.
So their melon, their genes can produce.
Whoa! Did you say their melanin?
The melanin.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the correction. Their melanin can produce just like we do. It's 16 different shades of blackness that can produce.
Yes, there is. Thank you.
And this is how you can tell the association with original people. But now let's talk about this. And I don't mean to play the white card, but Caucasians can produce
melanin.
Different shades, right? So they can produce 16 different shades of themselves.
They can't produce melanin.
Well, you can say melanin or 16 different shades of themselves, whatever. Still boil down to the same thing. We can't do it. They don't got it.
All right. Tell me when you're done, because I want to finish my statement.
I'm done.
Okay, so you're done.
Yes.
Now the first thing is first, Rad. Egyptians. What color are they?
The original Egyptians. You know what? And I've been telling people this for years, and they don't seem to grasp the truth of this. First of all, Egyptians are not Egyptians. Egyptians are Ethiopians. The 21 deities in Egyptian history dealing with Osiris and them, Isis. Let me just finish real quick. So,
what was the name of Egypt back then?
I'm confused. Was it Kemet? Kemet. Okay. Now, but look, let me get this point out. These 21 deities that rose to the ranks of deity from the Egyptian culture.
My boy,
Are
hold up.
21.
Hold your thought. I gotta give a shout out to my dude, Mac Dog, one of my basketball partners, Cal Christian, and his daughter is a beast. His daughter is a beast. His baby girl that I remember when she was a little girl is a beast right now in college. He's on right now. What's up, Mac Daddy?
Peace to you, Mac.
That's my dude, man. That right there is one of my dudes. Anyway, I know you was making a statement,
Man,
and I agree with that. But I'm gonna get back to what I'm trying to say because
let me just finish that one point. The point that I didn't get to you yet, and I know this is where you was going at with it.
Oh, so you know I'm okay.
And that these Egyptians are really Ethiopians.
Right now or before?
Well, before the original founders of Egypt were Ethiopians. They migrated. Egypt didn't even exist at the time. They migrated from Ethiopia and spread their colony.
Where's Ethiopia? Where's Ethiopia on the African map?
Well, I'm not sure exactly where.
Almost positive it's a little south of, or a lot south of Egypt, if I'm not mistaken.
I know
because I'm trying to picture that map in my head, but I'm almost positive it's south of Egypt. Now, I think you got your point across. That basically the point that I was trying to get, but I'm going deeper than that.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to peel back that onion a little more. Okay, I'm going to do a little preaching move. I'm going to exegete the text. Anyway, exegete the text.
Okay.
That means I'm really going to dove in deep and pull stuff out. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Yeah, I used one of them big words you wasn't ready for it. Like you over here using cultivate. Anyway, get back to what I was saying. So check the peep game. Let me say, because I keep bumping my head on my mic. So let's talk about this for a minute. Africa. Right now, they say the Middle East is the Middle East, Africa is Africa. Back in the day, all that was Africa.
That's right.
That's the first thing. Second thing,
that was Asia Major and Asia Minor.
Africa.
The world was considered.
I ain't arguing anything else. Africa's Africa, and it's always going to be Africa. And us, Black, Asiatic, whatever you want to call us, came from there. And we were all up in there.
Correct.
And then what ended up happening was people got greedy. Money. And if not regular money, let me put my hand over here because my camera's over here. Not regular money. Money as far as power to get commerce. They sold slaves, and it was other Black people selling Black people that started the slavery. The slavery was going on. We can take it back to Egypt when they enslaved the Israelites.
Well,
that's black. That still was black on black. And I'm going to tell you how I know. Because the Bible talks about how in the world, if that's not the case, was Moses able to live in the palace of the king of the Pharaoh as his child and nobody know he was a Jew if we were totally different in color.
Okay.
So we got to know that that was the case.
Okay, so why did this?
Cleopatra was dark skinned. I ain't trying to hear all that BS.
So these original Jews, right?
Listen, we are the original. All that is the point I'm getting out.
But we are also
all these religions are from the bed of Africa. What happened was white people from Europe and all those little the Caucasus Mountains came down and they started conquering all these little areas. And when they started conquering, you got Greek, you got Rome and all that stuff. When they started conquering, they changed the belief systems that we had.
We have to be careful though in the way we teach that history, because it can be confusing. For
Uh,
example, not saying that you said directly, but now an inference, which a real inference
uh-huh.
for listeners, and especially from people who want to bring out the controversy in what we're doing here, right? You leave the door to
They can speak.
but you leave the door open to say this. Now you said that we are a part of the original Jews or the
Uh,
original Israelites.
yes,
That these was the people of God,
yes,
was the people that was enslaved. But these books also talk about the Quran, this is Quran and in the Bible, where it talk about the Israelites first having the knowledge, but turned their back on God. So
right.
we can't.
Why do you think we're scattered?
Let me finish. Let me finish. We can't infer that these are lighter Jews or these, or we have to infer that these are the original Jews because that's who was given the text from God, right?
Right.
So that's what I mean.
We,
Ourselves, we turned our backs on God.
yes, we did.
So now listen. All these other books that come afterwards says, well, God can't use these people. God can't use this. I got a different religion for you. I got a different path because what was given to them, the people who turned their back, who had the book,
Given to the
aren't
Gentiles.
aren't the people anymore. So that means
Oh, no, 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 no. Here's the great thing that we got to understand. At the end of the day, if you read it, you know that you have the opportunity to still follow God.
but
It's because our ancestors turned their back.
the point that I'm trying to get home to you is that yes, and I agree with that, but through a leadership of another people who has a different book, and no. This is what I'm trying to tell you that the way you was explaining it,
Uh-huh,
I was to try to an attack on what you were saying based
uh-huh.
on you said it. That's what it would give inference to.
Hey, Red,
What
I
you
want people to challenge it.
Mhm.
Too many people are going into churches and just listening to the preacher and not reading for themselves. And
Okay.
then also reading other things to find out more about what they're reading about. Because if you actually know, if we know for a fact that Jesus wasn't white, why are we looking at pictures of Jesus being white, brown, blonde hair, blue eyes?
Back to the genocide again.
Yes, exactly. I agree with you. And oh my God, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what, if you actually think about it, the life of 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 of, of the Judean people and the life of the Israelites, the life of Christianity. It happened because people basically committed genocide against a nation. Now, it also is the people's fault because they turned their back on God. If you read the book. But the problem is we read the book and then we make excuses.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the Bible talks about Jesus being dark. We know that the
I,
Bible talks
I
about, let me finish. Let me finish.
Lamb,
Let me finish. Yes, but let me finish because I'm gonna go even further back. I'm chasing his lineage back. Solomon says that I'm dark and lovely when he writes about it's like a love letter. Okay, you got David, his daddy. You can keep going back and back and back. How about when we talked about Moses? But let's go back further. How about Noah? Noah, I know we say that Abraham is the father of the nations and all that, right? But let's go back to Noah because if there was an actual flood, which the Bible says there was 4 people, 4 men Let me go on this side again. I'm going with my left hand because I'm ambidextrous, and sometimes I got to remember the camera's on the right side. There was 4 people left that were male, because they trace everything parental, not maternal, fraternal, not maternal.
Mm-hmm.
There were 4 males. There was Noah, and then his 3 sons, Shem and Ham, and I always forget that last one's name. I think we were talking about that earlier. No, me and my wife was, huh?
That survived the flood.
Right.
What happened to Lot?
Huh? No, not Abraham, Noah.
Oh, Noah. My bad.
Yeah, no worries. So there was 4 people. Now, they populated the whole world. Their kids, their offsprings populated the whole world. Now, Shem is where the Israelites came from.
Mm-hmm.
And it says he's basically, his population was the top part of Africa, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Ham was the bottom part of Africa. And then the other, I can't remember the other brother's name. I want to keep saying Lamech or something like that, but I think that's wrong. But the last brother populated over by the Caucasus Mountains in Europe and all that stuff.
Let's talk about Ham for a minute.
Yes, let's talk about him.
And let's talk about what you're saying. The Bible gives an indication with that when you read that Ham, darkness, the blackness, and him being the first in that blackness was a result of a curse.
Lord have mercy.
You remember?
I know that a lot of people have, especially racists, have basically said that we are from the curse of Ham. That's Boomalak Kak Doodoo. Your mic just went real low. Yeah, your mic is real low, Rap. What happened?
How about now?
It's still real low. Did you check your plug and see if it's all the way in? Because all of a sudden you went low. So the thing you got to understand.
Are we better?
No, you're still low. The thing you got to understand is these were 3 brothers from the same mother and father. Now, they're trying to blame the darkness curse on the one brother. That was another form of keeping black people down, because the religion was our religion. We were scattered. They took it away from us and they changed everything. If you remember, what was the curse that was given to Cain? You gotta take a step away for a minute.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was a curse put on Cain. It was a mark that was put on his forehead so that no one would kill him. Now, Ham had a curse, and the curse that he had was that he was going to serve his brother's ship. So that to me doesn't sound like a curse where he's going to be black. They lived in a place where they were black. It talks about Moses being black. Okay, listen. The bottom line is very simple. We were given a bill of goods, a can of goods, telling us all about this during slavery time, where we were given the Bible. You got to remember, the Bible was taken from us a long time ago. Before slavery in this country, the Bible was taken from us because we were scattered all over the place. Remember, Africans had other Africans as slaves. We know this from Egypt. So if Africans were already having Africans as slaves, and the Bible talks to us about us being scattered, all over the place, and everything stripped from us, our religion, everything. We only knew what we were being taught to from our ancestors or the ones before us. That by word of mouth. Now, if anybody's ever played the telephone game, you know that by the time you get to the end of the line, the conversation is not where it started at. Unfortunately, a lot of that happened with the ones who were kicked out of, where we were from. Then these Anglo-Saxon Protestant people from Europe decided to come get us, take us from our home that we got used to, bring us over to the United States before it was the United States, had us do labor. We started to resist a little bit. Then they gave us a religion. Now think about this for a minute. Who had Christianity back during that time? It was in Europe. And you had the Crusades from Spain, and you had all that other stuff going on. Where is Catholicism in? Rome. So they're giving us Catholicism, Christianity, and all this other religion to do what? To keep us docile, to keep us that we won't actually get an uproar and get up and attack. Prime example. Everybody knows the story of Nat Turner, and if you don't, you need to get a book and read it. And look at the movie. They had Nat Turner going around preaching to slaves to keep them docile, to keep them from fighting, from wanting to kill master. Then one day, Nat read something. He said, wait a minute. The Bible also talks about this. And that's when Nat Turner went on a rampage. Because he found out that they gave us lies. Listen, they've been giving us lies since we came to this country. They gave us lies when they told us Columbus discovered it. When Columbus came here, there were Indians here, right? Or the ones who were nationally here, or whatever you want to call them. They were here before Columbus and the Pilgrims.
So were some blacks.
Right. Well, we can talk about that too.
Africans visit.
Well. Hey, let me tell you something. Read the Apocrypha if you wanna hear about that. Them coming over on ships before that and starting in this new land. But the thing that people ain't understanding is white people from the Caucasus Mountains and all that were conquerors. They went from place to place and conquered. And yes, everybody had their time. Everybody had their time. Remember, Greece was like big, and then here came Rome. So you got Rome that did a lot. Catholicism came out of Rome. Catholicism came right out of Rome. Okay? We are following what these people have taught us forever. Listen, I remember looking at my birth certificate before it got lost as a grown man and saw the word Negro boy on it. And now they keep trying to change it to be politically correct. because they know the damage that they did back then. And a lot of those people are still around. These cats that's 100 years old, 70 years old, all that stuff. Remember, I was born in 50 years ago, and you got people out here that's 50 years older than me. That means they were around during the time of that craziness. Now, Rad, I know I've talked for a good long minute, but the bottom line I'm trying to get at is if you keep following what these people have done to us as far as, and I'm not going to listen, once again, this ain't about me saying all white people this, me all white people that. I'm never going to say that, because there's some white people that have helped me out and still are helping me out. What I'm saying is, you look at schools when we were growing up 50 years ago, and you look at schools now, what they're teaching, what they were teaching then and what they're teaching now is totally different. And just the different things like the holidays changing, where we used to celebrate Washington's birthday, Lincoln's birthday. We weren't celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday when I was going to school. There was no Black History Month when I was going to school. So we see the change, the slow change in a lot of white people, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, whatever you want to call them, Caucasian. A lot of them have been taking part in this change. So I don't throw out all white people this, all white people that. But I am pro-Black when it comes to certain things, especially my belief, because a religion that was taken from me and then handed back to me different. And then you got pastors all around. I ain't going to mention your names because that's your hustle. See, I'm going to tell you something. That's the other thing. All you people that are following these pastors, read your Bible. The Bible says you don't put nobody on a pedestal but God. But a lot of people are going to church and putting these pastors on pedestals. And a lot of these pastors are doing bad things. I've heard bad conversations from some pastors where they talk real bad about their congregation and behind closed doors. And just to let you guys know, I am an ordained minister. I don't adorn nobody's church anymore because they're still preaching the stuff that they learned 50 years ago. They may add a twist because we're trying to be pro-Black, but they're still preaching that same stuff. Get real and preach about what's real, what we had, what was taken from us, what was handed back to us. Tell people the truth. The religion ain't about the pastor. The religion is about God. Okay? It's not about the pastor. It's not about these people who tried to change our minds and make it something different. So that's where I'm at with it. You got any comments on that?
Actually, no. Actually, I have to wind this up.
Oh, we did to wind it up.
Yeah, I know. But I can't.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning, right?
Exactly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sign off. We'll hold this. I'll pick up tomorrow on just conversation.
Hold up. You ain't gonna just sign off. We're gonna sign off together, and we can pick up on whatever conversation we're gonna pick up on. If we want to start with this one, we can. If we get interested in it after people listen to it, people gonna say a lot. People, hey, I'll put some stuff out there. Mm-hmm. People got to think about it and they got to read for themselves. I'm never listening to another man again about what I should believe. For the simple fact is, human nature gets them to think of stuff for themselves as well. I'm gonna read and talk to God myself. And then if I want to fellowship with somebody, or they want to fellowship with me, so be it. If they want to think I'm blasphemous or whatever they want to think, so be it. But at the end of the day, we'll find out when glory comes. Bottom line. So that being said, if we want to continue that, that's fine. We do need to sign off, and I'm gonna let you sign off.
No, we both want to sign off. I'm
No,
gonna
I'm gonna let you say your eulogy, man. Go ahead.
already know. Black power, life and liberation, freedom to all oppressed people around the world, free all political prisoners. You brothers and sisters, stay strong. Right? I'm going to keep my saying, regardless if you like it or not.
No, check it. You said something just hit. No, you was good. I'm with you.
Okay.
You said something about reparations.
I said,
Can you see me get mad right now? How many black people got 40 acres in the mule?
It's supposed to be signing off, not.
I know. And we're gonna talk about that tomorrow, bro.
Okay. Now look.
Because you said it, and I had to get it.
Life and liberation, freedom to all oppressed people around the world. Right. I wish you brothers and sisters out there the best. Right. And be safe out there with, fighting this monster called the coronavirus, this monster called HIV, this monster called hatred, this monster called
Right. I thought you was ready to go to bed.
I'm trying to greet these my people.
I'm gonna bleed my nose, blow my nose, man.
Right. And y'all have a good night, and I pray and hope that you take something away from this discussion between me and my nephew that might have been helpful or may have been heartwarming, or even the music had brought you some kind of joy and peace. So with that, I give you a great.
I didn't realize you were still on, man. All right, you done, rap? Listen. Yes, we're gonna do what you said tomorrow. You don't gonna hang up, Nate? You ain't gonna listen.
I can still hear you. I can hear you.
Man, you make me mad right now. You make me sick. Listen, bottom line, thank you for that. We gonna talk about the reparations tomorrow. I'm gonna get indignant a little bit about the reparations, because bottom line, there's been no reparations. There are promises that were made to slaves that never was fulfilled. And then we still have them doing what they're doing. So I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'm going to quote from that black prophet. And while you fall asleep, Don Cornelius, my people, love, peace, and soul, and not the train. Love y'all, man. Y'all take it easy. See y'all tomorrow.